Have you been struggling in creating your own tactics for yourself? You're trying to create tactics, instead you just create rubbish, like totally rubbish, like it's not actually working for you. Then I'm going to be showing you how I actually create my own tactics step by steps, how I actually make sure it's actually working for me, and using my players for it. So I'm going to be showing you tips and tricks also. So make sure you stay till the end. And if you haven't subscribed, you're actually a new person, just click on the subscribe button so that you won't miss all my videos, on my contents that I drop, and click on the notification bell to get notified when I drop new videos on my channel. That's it. So let's jump into it. So this is actually Barcelona. So let's say we are going to be going through the list of players that I have. What can actually work for them? So we know Barcelona is actually counter a tiki taka team. They are very good in vertical tiki taka also. So yeah, when you want to know that, when you want to create, it's always like this. So it's going to be showing you all this. So they are very good in Gengar pressing, they are very good in tiki taka, and they are very good in vertical tiki taka. That's what um your assistant, I think my assistant tells me. So yeah, that is what Barcelona actually use most of the time. And if you want to change the team to a counter-attacking tactics, yeah, it's not bad. You can actually maneuver your way towards that. It's not like real life where it's actually going to affect, but there are some things that are actually going to affect it though. But you need to check your players if they are able to do it or not. But before we enter any tactics whatsoever, we need to check our squad. So let's check our squad, right? So yeah, you can see your squad. You need to know your striker, you need to know your defender, you need to know your midfielders, you need to know everybody. So we're going to click on this position, right? It's going to be aligned them one by one. So yeah, this team I've been using them already to do something. So I'm just using this save, and you can see we're actually in where is February 2026 right here. So it's actually in the middle of the game, as you can see all these stats here. So right now you can see we have staging, we have all these songs, all these players, right? So you know your defenders, you know they're actually tall. I got this guy right here. You get, so I go. You can actually maneuver your tactics from a tiki taka to a counter attacking, or again go pressing, or a one route or something like that. If you want, if you have a lot of money in your bank, then you can actually like use like 162 mil. Like this is actually a lot of money for us, and you can sell some players if you want them and get some players. For me, this I've not. I think I only got one player right this season, and this guy actually got to loan some players, like a lot of players, because I've been making use of the academy right in my seasons before. I actually spent a lot of money, even though I spent 126 mil in. And I sold a lot of people out, if you can see them right here. But my first season, though, I actually got a lot of people in and out. Like a lot of more amounts. If you see there 5 mil, it's just 5 million difference. So it's not that I really don't buy much, but I pretend to sell when I see that probably I have a lot of players in the team that are very good to my taste. So checking all these players, I've been if you check them, you can see that they're actually young, and some of them are from the academy also. Like this guy is from the academy. We have Pablo Torres from the academy. Femi, yeah, is very good. This guy is from the academy. This guy is actually second striker to Lewandowski, and it's actually performing crazy. If you can see, due to the tactics I actually created. So some of these players are from the academy. This keeper have been using him and is from the academy. You can see two substitutions, and some of these players are from the academy, and I prefer academy players because I feel like they are very good. Like their academy players are very good. This guy also is from the academy. So if I see young players and they are from the academy, I don't need to like buy another player as you get. But don't let us deviate from the normal route. So me checking all these, I can see they're actually tall. I check their stats and look at what they're actually into. You get, so I got a striker right. and my striker I know is actually 6'1", doesn't know how to nod, not doesn't know how to nod, he just know how to jump. Like he's not really good in heading. Second striker right here, he knows how to. His heading is not bad, but his jumping is very poor. So yeah, so knowing all this, you should know, okay, these things cannot work for them. If you want to cross, maybe counter attacking through crossing, maybe 4-4-2, when you know that you want all the ball into the box by crossing a long ball, you want them to not know it's not going to work out. So you need to take some things off. So yeah, you have a lot of midfielders, right? If probably you have three, maybe you have four mid defenders, like me right here. If I'm going to be counting my defenders, I have one, two, 3, 4, 5, 5. So if you don't have if you have much defenders, then you can actually start three at the back, or you don't really have a right back or a left back that is actually there's no depth in that. You actually can start three at the back. You get what I'm saying? So you need to like picture what you want before you now jump into the squad depth and check if it's going to work out or not. You can have options to buy players though, because you have money, you understand, you have money in your bank. So yeah, I have a lot of midfielders. You can see, like, I really have a lot of midfield, and most of them can actually are very versatile. And if you can see, this guy is versatile. I can actually retrain him if I'm going to be clicking on him. I can actually retrain him to be here to play this side and this side. Also, is this guy versatile? I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, it's not bad also. Also Greenwood right here. You can see you can actually play this. I can retrain him to play this side. I can play this side also. Also, Ferran Torres right here, you can see he can actually play like the three sides, and I can train him to be playing here also. So, like, I have a lot of players that are like that, you see. So when you check all those kind of players and you see that, yeah, you see Gavi also, you can actually retrain him to be a winger also. So when I get to this one also, you can see. So I have a lot of midfielders and attackers that I can actually like use them as a advanced playmaker, or a deep line playmaker, or something like that, or a box to box playmaker, and still I can use them as a winger also. So yeah, I have a lot of them right here. Even this guy is actually an academy player. So you see, so some of them actually like turn some things around. Maybe if someone is injured or so. So yeah, I have a lot of midfielders, right? So you can now know, okay, do I want 3-4-3? Do I want 4-4-3-3? You understand that kind of. Using 3-4-3 doesn't mean you cannot actually use the tiki taka tactics. Yeah, if you check your tactics right, and we try to create a tiki taka tactics right, then you can see a 5-2-3, right? And 5-2-3 is starting with three at the back, then two wing back. You can understand. So that is actually like something like, let's show you. Yeah, you see. So it's not something that maybe you cannot use a tiki taka tactics for three at the back. You can, just depend on how you set your team. You understand? So let's check a vertical ticket tracker. You can see, okay, there is 4-4-2. So you can use 4-4-2 as a vertical ticket. The difference is just that the tempo is actually going to be higher. So when we check something like, okay, the counter is here, the tempo is slightly lower tempo, right? But right here is very lower tempo, right? But this one, the tempo is slightly lower. Yeah, but you can actually increase the tempo depending on what you want. And right here you can see they have higher tempo. So everything just depends on what you want, you understand, and the kind of depth that you have. So after checking your squad and you understand the squad, what you have on ground, probably what you are planning to get, you can actually like picture it using your scouts or so, or searching them right here, probably a player in your mind that you have used before or you are thinking of using or so. So you can now jump to a squad planner, then check your assistant report also. So this, you are going to be canceling some things that you actually think is right. So right here it's going to be telling you all your weakness and your strengths, right? So I have my strengths, right? Sometimes I actually like answer, like, try to right my wrongs by signing some players that can actually do some things my assistant says is actually my weakness. You see, our work rate is not good, then most of these things are actually keeper issues also. Then accept the chance created, creative poor chances from self, so only averaging so he said our set piece is not good, even though I know my set pieces are good, and probably because I didn't click on the creating more chances, choosing selecting set pieces is actually like an option in tactics. I've forgotten how we actually put it together. So all this, yeah, you can actually I think okay, um what is the issue, so you try to compare and contrast, then you click some things off and click some things on. If you actually look at it, so you see that we are very good on the ball, we have off the ball, so this can actually be very good in getting pressing tactics and counter attacking tactics, even in what's it called, in any football. Yeah, if you're having the off the ball, it's actually a very good thing to do, to have, because it is something that off the ball is something that is like an attribute that okay, without the ball, what are your players doing, in which positions are they, how are they moving, their movement, or so if they are very good in moving without the ball, or they are not good, you can understand. So that's it, and you can see everything, right? So you can now choose which one you want out of them. So after that, I jump into the squad planner. Okay. So you don't just think probably you creating a tactic right now and it's going to be working right away. There's something like this that I'm going to be showing you later about tactics that you don't expect it to actually work right away. You need to check some things, you understand, and check the game, then check some things also till it is great. Probably after after 10 games, you should be able to understand the consistency and um and what your team is actually doing. You understand? So yeah, so yeah, we're going to be checking the squad depth. So when we show the squad depth, it's going to be showing you this it's tactics, right? So I can actually like choose any of these tactics and be like, okay, oh, I can go for free. I've not yet created any tactics, but yeah, I decide to actually like choose. If you have any tactics, you can actually first just choose maybe a random tactic that you think you're playing. Just choose it first and check the squad depth. You see, you can actually check the squad depth like this, and then it's going to be showing you, just clicking it. It's going to be showing you the depth. You see, this one I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like six. You see, this guy is actually it's actually from the academy. Yeah, that's what they call it. It's actually from Barcelona Academy. So I actually try to actually use what are the resources I have. So right here you can see I have a lot of like very cool. So if you can see like, and most of these players you're gonna be seeing them when I click on this side. You see, you're gonna be seeing them when I click on this side also. You see, so this is actually a very great. I'm even surprised Frederick. So yeah, you see the striker, you see. So that's how it actually works. So when you see you have a lot of midfielders, and almost all these midfielders are actually like central midfielders, if you can see, they actually work as a central midfielder. And checking Pedri, also checking Ferran Torres can actually work as a striker or a central midfielder. And a lot of them can actually do like that. So you should make sure you use, probably instead of using a DM, you should actually turn it to a advanced playmaker and front, depending on what you have in mind. So after checking this, then you can actually like draw your plans out and try to think, what do I want? You understand, what do I want to create? So for me, I really want to create a vertical tiki taka. So I'm going to be starting from scratch. So when I go starting from scratch, I create my own. You can actually like use these ones as a template. But yeah, I actually when I started AFM, I actually use that as template and trying to walk through all these. Then yeah, I jump into, so I understand it and I jump into it. So right here, you have the choice to actually choose what you want. You have five at the back and two. So before there's always a five defender formation. So but you can actually like maneuver something yourself. It's actually just a drag and drop. Depends on you. You understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm trying to actually create something like a 4-2-3-1, and this is not like a a midfielder winger. It's not like that. It's actually like a winger, not a midfield winger or something like that. So let's just something like this and not something like this. You understand? So let's just jump in since it's actually a drag and drop. So you see, we're actually at the back, so I drop them to the front. So right here, you see what I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to create something like this. You know, there are some things that are like this. You understand what I'm trying? If you really understand what I'm trying to say, so that's what they call. There's some things that are like this. So I'm not trying to actually indirectly. This is actually kind of like a 4-for-3 one. But so in some games, you understand if you actually play games at all. So yeah, um what I actually showed you is actually something like this also. This is actually a white IF4. It's actually like you understand. If you understand the meaning of a white IF4, it's actually like something like this also. So yeah. So let's just jump into what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So yeah, I want my super keepers in support or in attack, either one. So I trust my defenders. I can plan on bringing a higher line or very high line, you understand? Since actually a vertical ticket account I want to create, you don't want to like sit, you don't want to like create mid blocks because yeah, it's not going to work if you do like that. So I support click on support sometimes and you can check this thing if you want your team to be flexible. That means depends on how many people you put in attack and depends on how many people you put in support and defense. So when you actually put a lot of people in attack, like like maybe two people in support and maybe three in defense, it's actually going to be stretched to structured. So if you want flexible, probably you put like three into support or four and others into attack. And there's something also they call fluid also. So when you have a lot of support and maybe a little bit of attack, so I think that's it. Let's just check it out. Mm, okay. You see, it's actually turning to fluid. So I have two defenders, a lot of support, like two in attack. You understand? So that's what they call fluid. And there's different with fluid, flexible, and structured. Structured is not like if this guy is actually going like this and he's leaving his position, nobody's actually going to be replacing that position. You understand? So that's what flexible means. And that's what structure means. Like it's actually structured. They are going to be maintaining their positions. They're not going to if this guy moves off, nobody's going to be covering for this particular position. But if it is fluid or flexible, somebody will be there to actually cover his position. Maybe this guy moved to the striking position and this side is overload, probably someone is actually going to cover, then this one is going to move, this one is going to move, somebody is actually going to be at the middle, this one is going to move, you understand, just to cover the areas of the team. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's how it works. It's not probably like um it's not probably like structured. You understand what I'm trying to say? So let's just fix things up. So so we are back to what we want. So I want my super keeper in support. If you understand all this playing style, then you should know what to choose. So sometimes, yeah, you need to balance things. There's something they call like balancing. When you actually like this, you divide this into three. This one, this two, this one, this two, this three. So you try to check if it's actually balanced through the row. This actually helps when you click on this analysis. So when my players comes, like It's actually going to be showing you the places that are actually like um they're actually like free, that nobody is assigned to the position, and in the places that are not people are not assigned to it, that there are issues around that place. And you cannot create a tactics that there is not going to be an issue around some places, because yeah, you are taking a risk and you want to like do something, so it is very normal to have some minor issues. But just try to understand and try to play into it, and make it an advantage, not your disadvantage. So yeah, I try to put it positive. We are attacking positive mentality. You see, like that means you are higher, you have superiority on the other team. You have the chances, you are very confident, you want to take the risk to actually like attack instead of like balancing and try to look at the player and the team you are playing against. You don't want to take too much risk, but this one you are taking too much risk. This one you are being cautious. You are not just attacking anyhow. You are not balancing. You are trying to defend and try to counter attack. So this one is actually meant to be probably for counter attacking most of the time. So this one is attacking and very attacking. So more I put it in support in positive. I want to use my ball playing defenders in defense, because yeah, you're not using a central defender. There's difference between a central defender and a ball playing defender. The ball playing defender actually use the ball and doesn't just clear the ball anyhow. He actually use the ball and try to like make use of the ball very well, put himself into positions that are very good. Then the central defender is just going to like defend. He's not like a no nonsense, but close to a no nonsense defender. Defend and clear the ball straight up, or pass to someone that knows how to use the ball instead of you using it. So mainly they don't use the ball. They pass to the people that can use it more than them. So that's how they work. So yeah, I turn these people to a wing back or a full back in support. So one is actually going to be in attack and one is going to be in support. So you can actually like switch sides when you see that there are some issues, you understand. Maybe the players you have, maybe this guy, if I actually use this guy, this my wing back right here knows how to attack a lot more, and this guy is very good in creativity, then I can turn him into either sorry about this, if a wing back in support or in attack, or advanced playmaker that's actually going to be creating, then this guy is actually going to be filling in space and front. You understand? So that's how it is. You need to balance the things up and make sure things are working great. So after that, so I try to okay create someone that is actually going to be helping me at the back. Then maybe someone like a hate, and this one I can turn him to a support. There are some players that their player trait is not going to be useful for this. Then there are some like okay, let me show you one. Like let's say Gavi is actually no, is Gavi no, let me check. No, this guy. Then let's check another player. Let's say this guy. You see, there are some players that they love playing short. You get short from distance, and these traits they are not allowed to play short. You understand? So this type of players are tend, a behavior is tend to actually happen more than the tactics you are creating. So most times they will try to not play short. As sometimes they might try to not play short, but when you put it on a scale of 100%, it's going to be like 70-30 or 60-30, and it's actually have happened to me before, whereby I put someone in a deep line in defense, right, and he's not meant to actually dribble, he's meant to dribble less. The name of the player is Cone, and he's actually like dribbling at the collect the ball, he scored. It's actually like against Real Madrid. It's actually very painful, like semi-final, so, and it's very painful. So yeah, so you need to check those traits when you're creating something like this. You don't want to like um fuck things up. You don't want to like make and things very frustrating for your players. So let me just clear this up, and we continue. So that's it. And yeah, we're going to try to okay. We have talked about this ball playing playmaker, deep line playmaker. Sorry. So right here, I can decide to actually choose box to box, or decide to actually choose a mid. You can actually choose the options depending on how you understand the tactics you want to do and the type of things you want to do. You know, the mezzala right here, it actually shows you what the mezzala actually do right here. And they behave like this, a central slash half winger. So probably if you know that this place is not actually going to be overloaded. You know, I told you that you should divide this place into three, so you check if it's actually balanced. So if this place is not overloaded and bringing, because this guy is actually going to be coming like this, crossing, sometimes he's actually going to be behaving like a advanced playmaker in some sense, and sometimes he can actually play like a winger in some sense. So me turning him to a mezzala in support or in attack is going to be taking risks. He's going to be going to the side, and I have probably, let's say this guy is actually maybe a winger in support. Since this guy is in attack, it's going to be overloaded, and this midfield won't be balanced. So you need to actually make sure you know what you're doing, what you're choosing in this sense. So if you feel like yeah, this thing is not very good, then you make sure you make amends. So me, I can decide to choose Calero or something, Carilero, something like that. Sorry about the pronunciation. So I've actually shared the tactics whereby I use this formation, this role, and they are actually like a box to box, but the box box actually go further into the final third, maybe come straight to the boxing team. But right here, this guy actually doesn't go that further like the box to box play, box to box midfielder. So he actually do much of the defensive aspect. He behaves like a hate, but not really like a hate. You get what I'm trying to say. If you actually read these things, you are going to understand a little bit of it. So this is actually going to be solidifying the midfield a little bit. And if I want him to actually go further forward, I can actually just tell him to do so. But yeah, he's going to be going further forward sometimes also. I can tell him to take few risks if I want to. If I see that probably he's taking much risk in some sense that it's not making very much sense and is risking the team effort, and so I can actually do that. So right here I have my advanced playmaker in support. So I can leave it like this too. Or I can turn it to a box to box. Anyone you want. Both are in support too. And this one is actually rolling. This one is staying wilder and this one is actually rolling. So right here, I want the box to box in support, right? And when I actually choose my box to box in support, I always put them to actually tackle other. Yeah, that's what I actually do to do that. So right here, I might be like, okay, I want inside forward in attack since this guy is actually in support, and this guy should be in support or inside forward in support, any one of them. This air winger and inside forward is actually different. Anyone wants, and I might decide to actually turn him to a playmaker in attack. Probably if this guy is actually right here, and I would just tell him to actually sit narrow and probably get further forward, or I turn him to this. Yeah, so he's actually going to be coming to this side. That's what his usefulness, and this guy is going to be helping me on this side. Probably I can now turn this to Metsala in sport, and it's going to be kind of okay like this. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's actually like balancing everything in a simple way. So right here, this will be probably box to box. Yeah. So try to check these two are actually roaming. You understand, which is actually is not good. It's not going to be good for the team in some sense if you are not trying to like look at um um the disadvantages and the advantages. You need to cover up for some of your tactics. You need to balance things up. So yeah, it's not bad if two of them are actually roaming, but you need if you're actually playing from the middle and um the positions they are actually doing, the positions of your players and how they are placing themselves when you play them, not in this start, like when you start the games and you see that they are not bringing the food to the table, they are not doing it very well, then you need to change some settings. But for me, I really try um to make use of my sense of creating tactics that make things balanced, because this I really want this guy to actually roam. You understand? And no, I don't want him to just sit there. So he's actually going to be roaming to help all of them. You understand? And he's going to be sitting arrow, he's going to shoot less, he's going to take more risks, do everything to actually as a playmaker. You understand? A 10. But the only difference is that this guy is here and he's not here as the usual 10, you understand? But it's just here and it's here. So it's actually the creative playmaker, you understand? So yeah, instead of making this guy to roam, this one to roam, this one to roam, you need to make things up. So yeah, I can actually like turn things into like maybe a central defender in support that will actually do, or if you want to attack, you can turn him to a central defender in attack. That will actually do really, or probably you want to um make use of um this. I don't know how is actually if this is actually going to really play well. You're going to have two. Yeah, it's not that you're actually having two. You're having like three um creative playmaker in the team, and I don't know. It depends on how you play them and the instructions. If they are not going to be affecting each other, you understand. So when you play the game, you know the rules and you know what this is not making sense. Let me try and change it. This is not making sense. You understand what I'm trying to say? So right here, I'll just turn him to be like this, or in some sense, I might just turn him to always to two of them to always be a box to box in support. Reason why you can ask me a reason why is that the back will actually be well, we actually push someone right here. This guy is actually a deep line playmaker in defense. He's going to be coming to the middle to help also, and these guys are actually going to be working very, very well, going front and back. And I can actually turn into actually this one. Yeah. So probably what I'm going to be doing is turn this to a box to box, and this one to this one. You know why? This guy is actually staying wider, if you can see, which is actually going to be giving support right when this guy actually goes here, because this one is actually going to be sitting arrow. You understand what I'm trying to do? So either one you want, you can turn into a box to box and just tell him to stay wider, or you can actually just leave it box to box like that. This is actually going to be helping the midfield, even if it's actually a box to box. It's going to be helping the midfield in that you guys are going to be seeing enough player to actually do the build up, work tirelessly in the middle to create chances for you guys, and you're going to be seeing numbers of players, like a lot of numbers of players in the front. That's going to be helping. So in the long run, you know what we are trying to do here, right? And it's not bad like this. We can definitely leave it like this. It's actually not a simple tactics right here if you look at it very well. Not a simple tactic. So either way, since this guy is actually advanced playmaker and this one is inside forward, we need someone to actually attack since we have one too. only two attackers you get. So it's not going to be only like I said to you, three attackers you get. So we need a lot in the front. So if you see that probably your team are not really scoring too much, then you can add maybe the fourth attacker. I don't know, depending on what you want. So you can actually add this guy into attack. You see, it's actually structured now. So it depends on you. But I'm going to leave it like this for a while to actually understand what my team is actually going to be doing. You understand? So in the in possession, right? Well, let me just give them well, we can actually just jump into the in possession first. So I'll since it's actually a tiki taka and I want them to actually be in a very compact way so that they can actually like reach each other and the passes will be actually a little bit shorter for them and they are going to be in a very good role. I don't know how to actually really explain that. So yeah, I make this short or like this, depending on what I want. Tempo will be like this, you understand? Or I play from the defense, that's bring the ball from back to the front through the middle. This guy is actually like this, so I'm going to tell him to overlap because we need enough players on the front. While these ones are actually at the back, I then decide to turn this guy to half back or maybe a defensive midfielder or a ball winning midfielder. Either one, depending on the kind of players I have. For this kind of tactics, I have the kind of players that can actually like make use of this. So yeah, we have actually switched off from us using a 10 right here into this, you understand, because we don't really have a lot of us if we are actually going to be checking. Yeah, we have the young Gavi can play for, but he's not going to like it because I've used him for there. You see, he's not going to be liking it due to his trait. But I'm just doing this in the sense that I don't want to make like a simple tactics for you to understand. For this tutorial, for you to understand this, I want to try to create something complex so that you understand what I'm trying to do. So we are a little bit deviating from the normal tactics, but I'll just create this, then I will check things back, you understand? So what we need to do. So let me just clear this off. Yeah. So right now we walk the ball into the box. A defender, a striker, is not really that or he doesn't know how to know. So we depend on low crosses, and you can actually do this with if you think probably he has that speed or your players have that speed to actually like cause issues at the front. You understand? Yeah, you can do that too. Then you dribble less. It's actually it's a tiki taka, a vertical tiki taka. You dribble less. You want to pass the ball. You don't want to dribble right. Be more expressive to create more creativity, and you can decide to play for set pieces if you have a better set pieces and you think you guys have strength in that. So this we don't want to choose that. You understand? Because it's not for stuff. So we counter press round the counter because it's actually a vertical tiki taka. If it's actually a tiki taka, we hold our shape or it's a vertical tiki taka, so we counter. I'm going to leave this and we distribute to the central back and the full back. You understand? So sometimes if I don't want to take a lot of risk for my keepers, I distribute to central backs. But if I want to give them options and I feel like my keeper is confident, is actually a very good keeper, then I can and it's good in distribution, I can actually put this in and take short kicks. You understand? So right here you can do this depending on how you think you understand the defensive line. So for me, I can decide to do this since you see we have enough players, right? I can decide to play higher line, since I have enough players, like much higher line. You understand what I'm saying? So it's actually going to be giving them offside trap in some sense, and I will kind of not want these two players to be in the same line so as to avoid giving my oppositions chances. This guy might be at the front and this guy at the back sometimes in the game, and this guy is actually going to be bringing the oppositions into an onside. So I developed something like a stopper, right? So he's going to be helping the deep line playmaker right here. He's going to be stopping. So he's going to be left. Yeah, it is risky if you ask me. This thing is very risky, but coming to look at it, it has helped me a lot. Like a lot this season, last season, it has helped me a lot, and I've been able to actually catch my players offside. And what brought up into this was personal normal higher line, real life higher line. That's Ansi Flick. So I was like, yeah, we can play higher line. I can play higher line and try to coordinate my defenders and these wing backs also. You understand? So it depends on um how you do it. So that's what I want. So I might actually like push it to a much higher line, you understand? But I prefer short keeper distribution. If you want to like press much more often, this intensity will actually increase, and this familiarity, that's what I was telling you about, that each player must be familiar with the tactics, and when each players are familiar with the tactics, this is actually going to increase to the fullest if all of them are familiar with the tactics. So you don't expect miracle at the first maybe 10 matches because your players are not yet familiar. They are still trying to struggle with the tactics, just like Cameron in Manchester United. The players don't really know much about the tactics. They are still struggling. So right here, we step up more, which is actually trying to get. We can actually click on this or leave it like that, depending on the kind of way you want to attack your players. If you feel like your players are not being very aggressive, they are leaving things for your opposition to actually do anything they want, then you can click on that, and it's going to help you, even though you're going to be getting some fouls on your stats, but it's a risk. Football is risky. You need to like think about risk and how you can balance it up, you understand? So that's it. So for me, I think this is okay. And if I want to actually make a selection, then I can do it like this and put my, so you can do it like this. Let's see. So right here you see De Jong, Pedri, Gavi. So Pedri and Gavi is actually playing box to box, an advanced playmaker in support, then inside forward in attack, then right here. So normal and Fati can actually play advanced playmaker in support, right? He can play that though. He can. He's actually one of the top four roles he can actually play well. I can decide I want to put, because I have a lot of, talked about me having a lot of midfielders that are really versatile. I can play the wing also. Pedri can play the wing, which I can actually force him to do. Then I turn this guy into maybe um, any one of these people. Maybe if this guy, depending on the work rate, if the work rate is, because I really need someone that has better work rate. So let's say this guy is actually a creative player and is very good, so I can actually decide to give these two a chance, then see what is actually happening, or I can put him like this. Can you this can actually play this side too? Where is he? So you can see these are the stars depending on the role and how they can do that. As Fati can play that part, but I won't want to start him straight up into that part. I want someone that knows the role about the advanced playmaker, then start him, then sub and Fati once in a while, try to let him know. And all this will be very good when you train them to be able to play that position. So right now I can go back to train Pedri to be a box in support, or to be a player that does that, maybe advanced playmaker also. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you need to train them also, and with time they will be very good at what you ask them to do. So that's it. So you see the familiarities here. If I now try to change it to what I talked about, you can see the position familiarity is very awkward. For the tactics I'm using now, there's a I don't know why it's actually showing awkward though. But when it comes to the tactics I'm using, oh, it's actually a box to box. That's why, yeah. So when we actually change him to where is he playing? I think he's playing in my team right now. I think he's playing advanced playmaker or so, or a box to box. I've forgotten. Oh, he's actually playing a advanced playmaker in attack. So when we check this, no, now this, yeah. When we check this, should be shouldn't be awkward though. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. But when you check his positions, the position is playing, and if you understand the team, then it shouldn't be awkward. Maybe okay. You see, it's not awkward. So we change the tactical familiarity here. You see, it's not awkward. So that's how it is. So with time, it's going to be getting to know the positions. That's how it is. That's how it is. So let's just change it back to what we talked about, what we agreed about earlier on. So yeah, I'm going to clear these things up. So what we agreed earlier on was the 10, right? So we can change it to a 10, turn this guy into I really want Ansu Fati to be in 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 the sense of like going in and scoring the goals. You cancel the instructions, then probably I turn this guy into attack, or I can leave him like this if I want to. I can turn him like this if I want to. So yeah, it's actually creating a. I really love to actually put this into consideration because I feel like if I put it like this, there are a lot of players that don't love it. So this will actually be very good. Then I think about this too, and support. Then I might use a box to box or this one, depending on anyone I want. But let us leave it like that. So yeah, I love it in the sense that this guy is actually coming like this. This guy is going like this to help him. So it's actually like they are like pivots at the end of the day. So this is this guy um is going to overlap, right? So yeah, you need to look at his player instructions, getting forward and he's cutting inside. So they are not going to be affecting each other, right? So if they are really affecting each other in that sense again, you can tell him to stay wider, right? You understand? Or run wide with the ball and just cancel the stay wider. Right? You understand what I'm trying to say? They mean different things though, but yeah, they are going to tweak it in the sense that what you see when you're playing the game. You understand? So that's it. That's what I am trying to say. So here I can tell this guy since he's actually going attack, I want him to take more risks also. So he's actually taking risks when he goes from to the front. He might take risks right around there, which can cost us though. But I'm ready to take the risk. Oh, you understand? So that's it. So I think we have changed things up and going to the in possession, yeah, we focus on that. You can actually do like this or do like this. Anyone still is going to be overlapping. This one doesn't change. This one doesn't change too. And we go right and we go to this side. This one doesn't change. I don't think anything is going to change anymore, right? So that's it. Then we can tell him since he's actually getting forward and mostly if you do an advanced playmaker, right? So the fact that yeah, this guy in advanced playmaker role is going to be having some instructions built in for them. But in attacking midfielder role, they don't really have instruction apart from getting further forward because they are meant to like um walk things to the front, like make impact in the front. So I want him to take some risks also, and maybe run from positions to positions, but it's actually going to be like my creative outlet all you understand. So I try to like make him like this guy, you understand. So that's what I'm trying to do. But he's free to dribble more and sometimes not dribble more. You understand? So they perform the same role but in a different way. So this one is actually like a main creator, while this one is not really like a main creator, but he actually creates also. So if this guy is actually creating 100%, this guy is going to create probably 80 or 70, something like that. So that's it. So that's how it is. So I think we are good like this. So let's just try and give instructions. So I want this guy to maybe tackle other as always. So I try to make them tackle other right from start in the front. That's how I do my things. So yeah, it's tackling other. I might leave this guy not to tackle other though. Just not stress yourself though. And this guy, tackle other. This one is actually going to be tackling other. Yeah, four man. I went to tackle other, and then I leave them to do what they want. You understand? So it's not that probably I'm giving them too much instruction. So any instructions that is going to be given to anybody right now is going to depend on um the way the team plays when I watch the game, you understand? So sometimes I do these things if I feel like this guy is not being very good, then I might decide to mark a specific player or decide to mark this specific a specific side. So you can actually like put it like this, you understand? So normal you can actually change it to be anywhere, but it's actually going to be affecting your team in some sense also. So it depends on you. So you can tell this guy to actually mark maybe central role or this particular position, which is actually going to be giving the players a free will around this side also. So it depends. Me, I decide to actually make him sometimes if I see that the outlets around there is actually very open and he's going to the front a lot more and I don't need him in the front a lot that much. So I decide to make him mark this specific role and make sure they don't get out of that. So that's how I do my thing. So sometimes I can actually decide to make it attacking wise and change things tempo to a higher. So it depends on you and the tempo of the game and if you think you can actually win. So I'm sorry about that. So if I want to create something, so yeah, let's see what's up. So you can see this is actually very good. This is my best 11. That's what the system tells me that this is my best level, and I feel so. I think some of them has actually performed very well, and yeah, this is actually my best level apart from this guy, and this guy is actually in form, so I won't blame them saying probably it's part of my best level, 7.27. That is his average rating. If you're actually going to be checking it right. Okay, it's showing 7.22 right here. So anybody that is actually going to be playing the side, let's make things up. Right? So anybody that is actually going to be this one is 7.20. So yeah, it actually I think it actually depends on rating Who else? Pablo Toure is actually 7.94. This guy can actually play his side, but I think he's not really in that dimension. It's the players at IL, so it depends on. I don't know what the computer actually thinks when it brings up this. Oh, I thought it was waiting at first, but I don't know. Maybe it depends on what they bring to the team and so. So yeah, this is my first level, and you can understand how we get into this, and you can set your own set pieces and your penalties depending on how you want it. That should be very very simple. Thank you very much. And if you have watched it to this extent, to this part, man, you are a real G. I would really love if you can drop a like if you love this video. And if you want to get more of this video, click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified when I drop new videos on my channel. You don't want to miss out on any of them. So when I drop new videos, you're going to be getting notification probably on your phone or your PC, any part of um, your gadget that actually has YouTube on. It's going to be showing you notification that I drop a new video. So you'll be one of the first person to watch my videos. Thank you.